And it's time for another matchup in the first round of the Big Lager Championship. Now, before we have a look at the table, you might have noticed that we've got a slightly more natural look here on Basic Beer Reviews. Well, that's because my old phone essentially, gave up the ghost, basically, and has stopped kind of working properly. So I've had to get a new phone, and the new phone has got, I think, a slightly better camera, which shoots its videos like this. I've had a little play around with the settings, and I think this is the best kind of quality I can get with it, really. So this is what the videos are going to look like moving forward, and it seems to have a better microphone on it as well, which is a win-win situation, really. But you didn't come here to listen to me waffling about this. You came here to see the second half of the table. So let's have another look at it. So here is the second half of the table, and we are on to the last matchup of the first round of the Big Lager Championship. If you remember last time, the Angelo Peretti basically ended up beating the Feldschlossen, even though I got the beers the wrong way around. So the Feldschlossen has moved now through to the next round, to the second round of the championship. But let's have a look at the last two to fight it out against each other in the first round. I've no idea what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? First of all, we've got Sabor from Lidl, and we've got Estrella from wherever I got the Estrella from. Both in cans, both in red cans, bizarrely enough. Both we've got kind of Spanish lagers. Are either of them brewed in Spain? Oh, Sabor is brewed in Spain. There you go. Estrella, I'm pretty sure, is not brewed in Spain. Does it say much about it? I don't know. It doesn't really say, but I don't think it's brewed in Spain. I think I mentioned it previously. But regardless of whether it's brewed in Spain or not, I'm just going to see which one is better, or which one I think is better. Estrella is, it's 4.6% ABV. I can't remember how much these were, but they tend to be about £1, between £1 and £1.50 a can. The Sabor was a little bit dearer than you'd expect from Aldi and Lidl. It was 4 cans for about £4.79, really, so nearly £1.50 a can. And this is 4.6% ABV as well. But I think Sabor is trying to emulate another Spanish lager, should we say, or another Spanish style lager, should we say. And I'll say no more about that. Anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's get these guys poured out into glasses and see what I think of them. Okay, beer's poured. Reasonably thin heads on both of them, but they're retaining them relatively well. Let's tell you which is which. So this is which one is which. Okay, that was which one was which. Okay, let's have a look at this one first. So let's look at the colours. They're both exactly the same colour. This one's got more bubbles rising to the top of the glass. Similar amount in each, which is brilliant. Let's hold up to the light. They're both exactly the same colour. They're kind of like an ambery yellow, really. They're not, I wouldn't say they're pale straw with a touch of amber. They've got a bit more amber in them than that, but they're not ridiculously amber. But they do strike me that they'll be a bit malty, both of them, essentially. But before that, let's have a little go on the nose on this one. So let's have a look at that. Nicely drifting down the glass there. The head, let's have a nose on this one first. So I'm getting malt, I'm getting lemon, bit of orange, brown bread. Yeah, it smells like a Spanish lager, essentially. What about this one? Oh, this one is more syrupy. It's more syrupy, and it's also got more of something else in it. Smells more malty. This one smells like an amped up version of this one. But amped up's not always good. Yeah, very much so. So this has got a little bit of grassiness to it, a little bit of sort of citrusy notes to it. This one's a bit more full on in the malt. No grassy notes to it. I'm not sure which one I prefer from the smell. But hopefully with the taste, we'll get somewhere with that. So here we go. Let's have a swill. Now I'm going to have a go on this one. Cheers. I'm going to start having 2 sips before I make any judgments. There's not a huge amount of flavour. Not much of an aftertaste. There's a bit of bitterness there. Yeah, I mean it's bitter, fairly bitter. Wouldn't say it tastes particularly malty, not particularly clean either. Bit boring. So I'm gonna have 2 sips of this. It's good to have 2 sips. One just kind of like coats the mouth and gets you in the zone, and then the other one you can actually really taste it. So here we go with this one. Cheers. Getting a bit more of that malt in the flavour on that one. Possibly a little less bitterness. Just waiting for an aftertaste. A little bit of a kind of an appley aftertaste. I think a bit more of an apple taste on this one than on aftertaste on this one than this one. I'm not sure. I'm going to go straight on to this one. Yeah, the flavour I'm getting from this one, not really enjoying too much. It's a bit cardboardy. This one, the flavour I'm getting is a bit more, it's a bit nicer, but it's a little bit more carbonated. It's a bit of a sweetness to this one as well that offsets the maltiness quite nicely. Neither of them are great, I won't lie. Get a bit more out of this one now. I think it's starting to open up. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I think I prefer this one. I think this one has got a bit more flavour to it and a bit more bitterness. So I think, yeah, and a bit more of an aftertaste. That one, bit of cardboardiness in the taste. Not a huge amount, not a huge fan of it. So I'm going to think, well, a bit of an aftertaste there though. No, I think this one's better. Yeah, this one's got a bit more flavour. It's quite close. They're not great. So, which one's which? I've no idea. I'm going to guess this was the Sabor and this was the Estrella. But I'll find out and I'll be right back. Okay, so it turns out that, yeah, this was the Estrella, the one that I wasn't a massive fan of, which not a big surprise really. The Sabor, I should have had more faith in the Sabor. Little, they know how to brew a slightly better lager than Estrella. But yeah. So Estrella, not great. And to be honest, I think when it went through the preliminaries, I thought it was okay. Sabor is better. Yeah, more malt to it. Not bad actually, not a bad lager that. Sabor, and it's brewed in Spain, and it's, you know, it's fairly decent. Estrella, not so much. Yeah, that's definitely that one. It's quite thin, bit cardboardy. All right, but not the best. Estrella gone out of the championship. Let's put that water over there. So we've got Sabor. Sabor is through to the second round. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. To the second round of the Big Lager Championship. And that's it. First round is done. Second round is ready to go. I cannot wait, but we'll have to wait until the next time that we do it. So that was rubbish. So I was going to say something great then, but obviously not. Yeah, so we're going to have to wait till the second round comes around. It's even worse, that, isn't it? Anyway, I'll best just finish while I can. So until next time, have a good one.